28th of July 2023. In this news flash I want to talk about NERSA. Now, NERSA is a word that basically all South Africans have heard about them. In theory they were supposed to be there to protect us, the consumers, against ESKOM. And prior to '94 there was no such thing as NERSA. ESKOM had a board of 6 engineers and 1 accountant, and they did the best they could and made sure they gave us electricity as cheap as possible and run that power utility as efficient as possible. And incidentally, Nelson Mandela went to the ESKOM board and said, listen, I'm not going to interfere in anything that you guys are doing here. Just keep on doing what you're doing and keep on providing electricity to South Africa. And it was when Briekmerke came in when they started fucking around with the ESKOM. But now, we sit with the situation. NERSA approves a 18.6% tariff increase to ESKOM, which is a fucking crazy amount, but okay, they approved it. But then they come and they say to the municipalities, you can only charge 15%. And maybe a few decimals out here and there. It's not important. Reality is, NERSA gives ESKOM an increase of 18%, and the municipalities cannot charge you, the consumer, me, more than 15%. Now, okay, try and explain that to me as if I'm 3 years old, mentally retarded. Because how the fuck does that make sense? The municipality must pay 18% more, but they cannot pass that 18% on to the consumer. They can only pass on 15%. Where the fuck must that 3% shortfall that the municipality now have come from? And don't for one moment think I'm here fighting the case of the municipalities. They are a useless bunch of fuckers that need to be disbanded and chased away and replaced by an efficient, professional management team. We don't need those councillors, we don't need that, those overpaid fucking mayors, we don't need them. We need a few engineers and a few accountants to run that municipality. Yes, and we need a health expert to run the clinics. In the old days, the municipalities had clinics that were fully functional and giving amazing service to the population. But that was something that they also fucking closed down. When will the people realize that all this machinery, this ANC, under guidance of their XXX masters, have created a bureaucratic fucking monster? Cyril's got 76 people in his cabinet or something like that. Why the fuck? Why? But he's got a lot of idiots there, and it seems to me they're trying to make up what they've short in IQ, they're trying to make up with volume. So they say, okay, there's 4 together. If you count them together, they've got a decent total IQ. That seems to me how they work it out. But okay, let's come back to this NERSA fuck up. What is NERSA there for? As I said, they were supposed to protect us, the consumers, against ESKOM. My question is, why the fuck do we need protection against ESKOM if ESKOM is supposed to be providing a service to us? Why do we need more protection against ESKOM? I'll tell you why we need protection against ESKOM. Because this criminal syndicate calling themselves a government, this criminal gang calling themselves a government, has been plundering ESKOM incredibly. They plundered ESKOM into basic bankruptcy. And then they instituted this buffer called NERSA, so that instead of you jumping on the government because of a price hike, they point you to NERSA. So NERSA is just a lightning conductor.
But a lighting conductor is costing us a fucking fortune, because go and count how many people sits in NERSA and then go and look at their salaries. These people don't get salaries like you and me. A salary which you can basically validate against the work that we do. No, those fuckers, they get millions. Millions. Entry-level salary, million. Listen to that Lessufi last night, standing there, preaching to this audience and saying, we will pay these guys 7,000 rand a month while they are training. Fuck! Where is that 7,000 coming from for a start? From taxes. This government is not a business. They don't have anything that creates revenue. Nothing. Only income tax. Oh yeah, and don't forget the fucking loans. So, what are we sitting with? NERSA say, ESKOM, you can charge 18% more, and then they turn a chair around and they say, you municipalities, you can only charge 15% more. And I sit here in the middle, I say, okay, and that fucking 3%, ooh, where's that? Where's that going to come from? And they can't answer that. Now the mayor of Cape Town says, the best he's going to do is 17.6. Not going to go below 17.6, 17.6 will go to the consumers. But he's also got a fucking problem. There's thousands that are using power and not paying, they're paying Zippo for it. So, it's just a vicious circle going around and going around and going around. The sooner people understand, we, the people, need to get rid of all the fucking politicians, not one party, not 3 parties, all of them. Get rid of all of them. Get a technocratic institution like EFSA that understands the value of brains. Get them to manage the country. Because that's all we need, managers. But after that shit I saw last night on LovingLife.tv, or that expose of what the fuck Rupert is doing to ANC, I am extremely disturbed. That guy has got South Africa by the balls, and that's it. And nobody can make a move in this country unless he fucking allows it or blesses it. How the hell did we get there? They talk this cuck about South Africa as a registered corporation in fucking New York and all that shit. My question is this. The only real solution we have is this fucking politicians must go. We must get back to tribal level where the tribes have their own indunas that sit together and say, guys, okay, we've got a problem here, how are we going to solve it? And this coal that is sitting here under my tribal land, Genkor, fuck off. You don't get that coal unless you pay me the world market price. That is what you pay me. If you don't pay that, you're not going to take the coal out here. That is how we're going to stop this cuck. The tribes must take possession of their natural fucking assets and resources. And the tribes say, you want my coal? You pay the international market price for the coal. And take your little fucking contract that says you have got rights here. Take that contract and go and wipe your fucking ass with it. We are done with your cuck. You pay for it or you fuck off. There is somebody in this world that will pay us a fair price for our coal. Don't come here with your shit that you have got rights that you got from 750 fucking thousand years back from one of your ancestors that signed a fucking agreement with somebody. Fact is, this is 2023. The coal is in my tribe's land. It's under my tribal land. You want it out there. You pay for it. If you don't want to pay for it, fuck off. And that is how we will save our country. That is how we will castrate people like Rupert. That is how we're going to get our own resources back. What the fuck is this? That we, with all our resources, are such a poor country. Why? Think about these things. Please give me a like and a subscribe and share the thing. Thank you very much.